Today I want to talk to you about multiplying decimals. I've got some tips written here for you already. What you're going to do is stack the numbers on top of each other and multiply them as if the decimals are not there. And just treat them like they're whole numbers at first. Next, you will count how many digits are behind or to the right of the decimal in both numbers being multiplied. So you get that decimal count, and then, or digit count I should say. Then you will begin at the end or right side of the answer, count over the total number that were behind the decimal in the problem, and this will help you with your decimal placement. So let me just demonstrate those tips and let you know what I'm talking about there. Okay, you can see I have two problems set up. And notice I didn't bother lining up my decimals. For multiplying you don't have to. With adding you do have to. But notice this decimal is not lined up with that decimal. And it doesn't matter because we're going to act as if they're not even there. So let's start multiplying. You always start here on the right side. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 3 is 6. Now we're on our second digit, so put a 0 for holding the place value of that digit. Then start with your second digit. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 3 is 6. Draw your line, put your addition sign, total them up just like you would a regular multiplication problem. 8 and 2 is 10, carry your 1. 6 and 1 is 7. 7 and 8 is 15, carry your 1. 6 and 1 is 7. Okay, so there's my total, but I need to do my decimal placement. So I'm just going to put little counting numbers in red underneath. There's my first decimal, or digit, I should say, my first digit behind the decimal, my second digit behind the decimal, my third digit behind the decimal. So there are 3 digits behind the decimal. And yes, you do a total of all digits behind the decimal. So there's 3. I start right here, and I count over 1, 2, 3. My decimal gets placed there. Okay? Now, let's look at our second example. All right? And notice, I've got some zeros here before we see our first numerical digit. And so bottom line is, let's count how many are behind before we ever get started. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, and we do count the zeros, 5, 6 behind the decimal. So there's 6 behind the decimal. All right. Okay, so this is 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 4 is 4. And I don't really have to multiply out these digits. But notice, I only have 3 digits here after I did my multiplying. But I said I had 6 behind, so how do I handle that? Well, count over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can do it that way and then fill in each little space you created with a 0. And we always put a 0 in front of the decimal just to let the reader of the number know, hey, look, this is a decimal. You know, sometimes, especially if you're careless in writing your decimals, for example, let's say you have 0.43, and if you're kind of sloppy and you don't make your decimal real distinct, sometimes people will look at it and think, oh, that's 43, but it's not. It's 0.43. So, and actually we would read that 43 hundredths is how you would read that. So, because the 3 is in what we call the hundredths place value. So that's 43 hundredths. And that's how you change that's how you multiply decimals. Thank you. Bye.